Judge Mathis sees it all: thieves, liars, cheaters. But nothing is as bad as a lying cheater. Yet, there are cases that even outshine those. In today's video, we are going to see the worst cheaters caught by Judge Mathis. Number 1. One of the craziest cheating cases ever happened when Monique Bridges suspected her partner to cheat on her after he got possessed by a ghost or demon.
I don't know, a ghost, like a demon. I don't know, maybe he got possessed by a sexual demon.
I've heard women try and be in denial and think of other reasons. This is the first I've heard that ghosts made him do it.
One day, while she was snooping on his phone, she finds this.
One day, he left with his best friend to go to the studio. So they leave, and he left his phone behind. So I decided to do some snooping to see if he was, in fact, being faithful. And when I went to the voice messages, I heard some young lady in there telling him if he didn't do something, he wasn't going to be able to see his child.
After Gerard didn't respond to her phone call, she came up with a new idea that he didn't expect. This is what she did.
So I called again and I said, you know what, I'm gonna have a barbecue and you're invited. So I grabbed all of his things, took him downstairs to the car, put him in the car, and I torched it. And he finally decided to come home.
Gerard claims to be a better person now, but it convinced the judge that he was a cheater.
I think I was just more so young-minded at the time. I've changed. I'm a better person now. I'm 26 now. I've changed, so. But nonetheless, Judge, she did.
Last time you cheated?
I don't do them things no more, Judge. Your Honor, I don't do that no more.
You're not with him anymore, are you?
No,
Okay, well, let somebody else hear that lie.
Yes, exactly.
Susceptible of ghosts, they moved elsewhere.
Once we moved into our new apartment to start fresh.
Where there were no ghosts.
Yeah, ghost free.
Soon she found out that not her husband was possessed by demons, but Gerard himself was the demon. So while using his phone, she receives a text, and this happens.
While I'm on my phone and his phone, because I'm making multiple calls at once, a text message comes through his phone. Are you coming to work today, babe? Excuse me? So I asked him, like, well, what is this?
Are you back to work at that place as well?
No, I don't work there no more. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? You keep on cheating on me, you're gonna fall in love, you keep cheating. He said, well, I'm not cheating with one girl, I have multiple women. Well, go pack multiple bags and go on your multiple way. Yes, so I kicked him out.
Monique Bridges also lost her car for which she was suing him, and here is the rough experience of Gerald with DUI.
Like you're talking to somebody off the street that don't know the law. Yeah, Judge, this is how it goes with a DUI. They make you pay a ticket, they make you pay a fine.
But Mr. Gerard is also suing her for barbecuing his 6 pairs of Air Jordans.
She barbecued my clothes, as she liked to say. That was $2,000 worth of clothes.
What type of items?
Sir, it was at least 6 pair of Jordans, originals, true religions. All my jerseys, my hoodies, everything that even meant something to me, to my hats.
You wear very high quality clothes, huh?
Back then, I could.
There you go, back then.
The judge said this.
Ma'am, I'll grant you your judgment for the car. Let me see what you have there.
My bill of sale.
Some type of evidence
it's
of
the
what
bill
you
of sale.
owe, of what you've paid. Let's see.
Okay. And that's also his arrest
sir, I'll
warrant
give you
from that
$12.50 for those clothes. $12.50 is your judgment, and $5,000 is yours. Have a good day.
The next case is of Ashlyn, whose life became a nightmare after having a baby. She found out that her husband was a drug addict. Not only that, but he was a physical abuser too that happened to be a thief as well.
Never OD'd?
No, I did OD.
That's what I asked you. I said you OD?
Yeah, I did, and I stopped.
Okay, that's what I asked you. I want to ask you about that first.
Okay.
All right? Because she said that's what caused her all the problems. She said you stole any pills you could get your hands on.
That's a false
overdose. You abused her and the household because of your drugs. So let's address that first.
But the defendant claims that he quit drugs after having an overdose problem. Here is what he said.
So after my overdose, I quit all drugs besides marijuana. I don't drink. That's all I do is smoke.
It was a turning point in the story when he said he is the one who is physically and mentally abused, as Ashlyn hit him in the face many times.
She would physically and mentally abuse me, degrade me every day, and that's why my demeanor
About what?
changed.
What type of things?
Just that I wasn't a good enough man.
And he had more to say.
Been splitting up already, and I wasn't a sexual relation. It was just an old friend from school. So she sees this text message, starts throwing my phone at the ground like Gronkowski 6-7 times, which is $1,000 phone. I use it for work and my personal life. So when I go to retrieve my phone, that's when she begins to hit me in the face several times.
Ashlyn refuses his claim and says that he has unreturned property and she is suing for that. When the judge asks the defendant about the clothes, here is what he says.
I never did find the laptop at the house. I looked all over. I never.
Clothing?
Clothing, same thing. I gave her all the clothing from inside the house. She's stating there's stuff in the cellar. I haven't climbed down there yet.
She says there's some things in the cellar?
Yes, sir.
And you haven't gone down there?
It's 3 foot and I'm 6'3". It's pretty tough for me to get down in there, you know.
Who put them in there?
I did for her, yeah. Yeah, I could go down there and get them
sir.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Well, how did it get there? I went in and put it there.
After all the efforts from both sides, things weren't working, and they had restraining orders. John claims he has returned a few items that remained in the garage for months. As her items occupied his garage, he says that he wants payment as rent. And here is what the judge has to say.
Tripped you up there, talking about you can't get down there, so you don't know what's down there, even though you put it there. I'll grant you your $5,000, ma'am. Your counterclaim, sir, the storage fees is what I need. Did you all have an agreement regarding the storage fees?
No, of course
Okay,
not.
you can't charge somebody without agreement. With regard to the assault that she committed against you, I believe it, I'm convinced. So I am going to grant you $2,500 for that. $5,000 for you and $2,500 for you. Have a good day.
Number 3. In this very next case, it's hard to say who is the cheater. Let us have a look and let me know who you think is the cheater. Anthony Holliday is tired of women. As he said, he can't stay long enough with anyone. However, Judge Mathis has something interesting to say.
We had hung around so long. I was.
So you don't expect to ever have a woman for many years, or
I do, Your
you have
Honor.
a maximum on the number of years?
I do, Your Honor. However, like I said,
When you get old and sick, you're gonna want somebody there. I promise.
I'm sure.
Ain't gonna be no maximum then.
However, his ex-girlfriend says that she was his priority and not a side chick.
I wasn't a basic side chick. I guess he's calling me a side chick. 7 years, vacations, every holiday, family gatherings, kids,
That's not true.
all of that. We went to the casino, stayed for the weekend. I mean, every holiday, every Thanksgiving, he was at my house frying turkey.
And here is what she says about his ex-wife.
I invested a lot of time and emotion into this man. I was never a side chick. His baby mama was a side chick. Anthony was with me every day. Every day for 7 years.
However, Anthony doesn't care much what his ex-girlfriend has to say and is in court to get his truck back.
After I got divorced, I was going through some ticket issues, and I took the truck out my ex-wife's name and considered Linda a friend after we had been hanging out for so long. And she allowed me to put it in her name. And from there, my truck got impounded.
Such an insignificant person in your life.
That's right.
You would give them authorization over your car?
Your Honor,
You would give them ownership. Well, not ownership, you owned it because you paid for it and there was an understanding that you owned it, but you would give them control and authority over your car?
There were a lot of fiery arguments going on, but Anthony kept calling it a non-emotional and physical relationship. He simply wants the payment for his truck. He showed some messages that his mom sent, and these were the replies.
Linda, please call or text me back. I know he has done some dirty things to you. Who is this? Your
His
mother.
mother.
All right, to you, please, but please don't get him back like this. He really, really needs his truck. He needs to work. No disrespect, Miss Grace, but such and such your son. He played me for years. I told Anthony at the end of 2015 to get his truck out of my name. He changed his number, stopped answering my calls, so she's
Thank you.
saying that's what she's telling us today.
And this is what Linda has to say in the end.
Just him leading me on, making me believe that we were gonna be together. The emotional distress that I went through for 7 years with this man made it seem like that we were really gonna be together.
After hearing everything they have to say, the judge said this.
Ma'am, is that the law does not allow for damages when there's no physical assault, because that's the ups and downs of life and relationship.
And finally, for Anthony,
I have to dismiss your claim, and then I'm going to grant him a judgment for $4,500.
Number 4, can you buy someone with money? Or are you too obsessed with someone that you can't see clearly anymore? Well, these are the arguments of this very next case. Sierra is a single mom and dating Brian. She claims she subsidized Brian so he can take care of the kids, and he ended up a cheater. But Judge Mathis has something to say.
No. You met him in September. You caught him cheating in October.
Correct.
And then you moved him in December.
There's more to it, Your Honor.
Okay, but let's, it's enough already, but let's just stop there first. Met him, moved him in 2 months later. It all went crazy, because shouldn't have done that.
When the judge asked Brian about their relationship, he said that she was very dominating and obsessed with him. And here are some serious accusations made by Brian.
She's very controlling and manipulative. She basically tried to pull me in with money, which I never asked for, it was all totally given. I say we had to spend about 2 to 3 months of dating, what have you, and I say she spent probably well over $10,000.
But here is what Sierra said.
Honor, with him saying that it wasn't a relationship, at points he did ask for money when he had moved down to South Carolina, which then I found out he actually moved to Georgia with his ex-fiancée.
Why'd you give him?
The case didn't go as Sierra expected, because when she said that he had manipulated her to buy a car for their children and then made him sign a contract, as the contract was very clear, this is what the judge said.
He had manipulated me to get into that contract by stating that we were being together.
I'm going to dismiss your case. I don't believe he manipulated you. I hear nothing that he has done to have you sign this contract.
But the defendant says that she tried to defame him by sending texts to his friends. Sierra also reported to the police that her car was stolen, while the contract said it clearly that he can make the payment afterward.
She wrote messages to my ex,
saying what?
As well as my, saying that I stole the car.
Let's see it.
And also,
did you do that, ma'am?
She also
Your Honor,
filed
I did go to the police.
She also filed a police report saying
that you
I
stole
the
it?
car. Yes.
All right. Brian stole my truck, and we've just concluded that he has not violated his contract. And I don't know why you would tell somebody he stole it.
If he turns off his cell phone,
If he turns off his cell phone, that means he stole your car. $1,000 for you for the defamation. Your claim is dismissed. You can go in August if he doesn't pay it all off, and then sue him. Good day.
Who do you think is the worst cheater? Let us know in the comments.